morning, guys. I don't know if you guys can see me very well, but we have lake behind us. It is tournament morning. Got out for a little bit of practice yesterday evening. We got the kayaks all rigged up, Forrest is up getting ready in the parking lot, and it is tournament day. It's tournament day again. I'm excited. It is going to be straight up anyone's game today because it's like straight up spawn. Like brown ones are all on bed, green ones are getting up there, and there's big ones up there roaming. So there's gonna be some big fish caught today, especially if the weather can cooperate. It looks like we should, knock on wood, be good until after 4 p.m. and tournament ends at 2:30. So we'll see. We're gonna launch here in a little bit, and then it is 5:45 launch, 6:30 first cast, and 2:30 last cast. 5 longest fish inches wise, and we got some fish on bed that could be close to 92 to 95 inches, and then see if we can't get lucky with a big bite like yesterday. So we're gonna see what happens, but see you guys on the water. All right, guys, we are on the water. First cast is in 15 minutes, and it's gonna be a spawn derb. It's gonna be straight up a spawning tournament. All these smallmouth are moved up heavy. Largemouth are up roaming, some big ones too. Those are probably the hardest fish to try and catch right now, but it is probably 100% gonna be one bed fishing, which the way with smallmouth on beds, they're the dumbest freaking things ever. So even the random guy just tossing a wacky rig or a Ned rig around randomly has a shot in this tournament. It's gonna be pretty difficult to, I think, to win this one. I think there's some strategies in terms of yesterday I came out, spent a couple hours just marking fish, making sure I had some bigger ones on my graph waypointed to run to if I need to. We'll probably run them, just about all of them. But we're starting right now on an area that I have 3 sets of smallmouth locked on bed that I think could do me really well because I think they're all at least 18 inches. So I think it's gonna take a lot of inches today. I think it's gonna take at least 95 inches to win. The smallmouth here are long, and there's some giant fish in here. We caught some big ones yesterday, just barely putzing around. I mean, we caught big smallmouth on a mag draft that was over 20 inches. Caught a big largemouth flipping a jig. We might do a mix of stuff today. We'll probably fish some of these points because I did see some pre-spawn smallmouth yesterday. Caught a big one on Mega Live throwing a jerkbait. So we'll probably mix it up doing that, bed fishing, and then we'll probably, depending on time-wise how we do, I have some backup stuff that is in some dirty water to go flip a jig for one or two big largemouths. This is our second NYKBF tournament of the year, second so far on the schedule. We are 1 for 1 in terms of wins, so even like a top 5, a top 10, will be good for Angler of the Year points. So let's see what happens today. Let's put our head down and fish. Let's go have some fun. First cast is 6:30, and I gotta just stare at these for 2 minutes. I can't cast at them yet. There's some big ones on this point right here. Yeah, you can see that sucker. There's some good ones on this point right here. Looks like some little ones there. I need to get casting. 1 more minute. 1 minute, guys. There we go, first cast. Number 1 in the boat. Hopefully we don't have him at the end of the day though, because he's not that big. First one's a 17 incher. Go back to your bed, buddy. start. It's number one. Numero uno. Fish number two. Number two had it really good. Good grief. Got 16 3/4. Hopefully we called both of those already. Because those won't last. Those won't win today. Thank you. In the mouth. Whew. 19-incher. All right, there we go. See if we can't get that other one off of it. There was two on that bed. There we go, that's fish number 4. Saw her swimming around all over the dang place. It's a humpback whale. Saw her swimming around and she wasn't like locked on bed, but I sniped her swimming around. God, you were a tubby one. Hook just fell out too. I can already tell she is not gonna be nice to me. God, that's a thick fish. Quick before she jumps off the dang board. There we go, 18.5. One more fish and we got a limit. All right, we're making a move. It is 8 a.m. We're an hour and a half in. We have 4 fish, basically out of the same area. We have a 19, an 18, a 17, and a 16. We need to get rid of the 16 and catch our 5th one. So catch 5th one, get rid of the 16, and we could be in good shape. We can get rid of 17s too. So I think there's gonna be a lot of people distracted by all these smallmouth on beds that, you know, they're gonna waste their time fishing for them and not focusing on the big ones. So we're just gonna churn and burn, try to find some big ones on the bed, hit up windy points and such with the mag draft and the jerk bait. All we need is 2 to 3 big bites and we have 6.5 hours to do it. So we'll see. Stay tuned. You're good. Another 19. That's what we need. You okay if I cut in here? Gotta be 16.75. I think it's going to, but we'll find out, I guess. It will, by a quarter of an inch. 17. 17 is our smallest now. No way! That should call out a 17. I think I got two 17s I have to get rid of. $19, guys. 19. Heck yes. We got rid of that 17 quick. Dude, the Berkeley Power Bait Crash Craw is the freaking MVP today because these fish are being pounded. There's so much pressure on this lake. And the Crash Craw is the only thing they'll eat. They won't eat an Ed, they won't eat a drop shot. They'll eat that Crash Craw. Like that. Hey. I'll get you right back. I promise. No. It's another 19 though. biggest of the day, 19 and a half. All right. See you later, Sally. That's all that's left. We need to get rid of 18. We need like some 20s to really start getting into some real fish here. We need some big ones. We need some. We're gonna keep moving until we find some giants. There's another 2-inch, I think 2.5-inch call, and then we need to get rid of an 18.5. Yeah, so we have a 19 and a half, a 19, a 19, a 19, and 18 and a half. So we have 95 inches on the dot. If we can get rid of that 18 and get some higher 19s, it's gonna be hard to beat. We got top 10 secured. I don't have a doubt in my mind about that, unless people really cracked them today. Caught one that might go over 19. Our small, we have 3 19s on the dot. Actually, no, sorry, 4 19s on the dot that we have to get rid of. It's even gonna help us. Oh, it's an 18. Pretty fish though. Got one to eat the mag draft that was in that school I couldn't get to fire. Don't think it's enough, but just to be safe. No, 17 incher. What? Not me, Nate did. Yeah? They had almost 100. Brandon and I had 95. All right, guys, that is a wrap. We got off the water from there and headed to awards. Tournaments like this frustrate the heck out of me. I hate spawn tournaments. I like to spawn fish, not necessarily for smallmouth because they're so dumb that there's, you know, if you see a giant on a bed, obviously it's fun to catch it, but I don't like fishing beds. Like, unless it's for largemouth. Largemouth, it requires a little bit more of a challenge. You know, it takes a little bit more or less a strategy to catch it off that bed. But in general, I hate fishing tournaments where it's heavily spawn based. And congrats to the winner, Nate Yakuzo, who caught almost 100 inches of bass. And he might have been fishing spawners, but he was fishing dirty enough water where he wasn't looking at them visually. So I would have much rather done that, and kudos to him because he figured out something that no one else had going. So for me, the reason I hate spawn tournaments is, especially for smallmouth, is it's really anyone's game. It can be difficult, you know, for someone like myself that puts a little bit of strategy behind it in terms of covering as much water as possible. You know, having my Hobie eyewear sight masters glued to the bank, looking for the biggest smallmouth that I can find, which, by the way, can actually be challenging in itself, because you might look at a smallmouth on a bed and be like, yeah, maybe that's 18 inches, when it turns out they have a longer tail than you can even see, and they're like almost 20. So I'm sure there's some fish I passed up that was bigger that I probably thought was smaller, really should have fished for them. What I'm getting back to my point is someone like me that has a strategy behind it versus a guy that's just going down a bank leisurely, soaking a wacky rig, not really looking around, I'm not going to say I don't have an advantage over them, but they have just the same amount of chance at winning this tournament as me. Now, that might sound like complaining, and it most likely is. I just don't like fishing spawn tournaments. I like a little bit more action going on, more different things. And I'm sure there's pre-spawners there. Unfortunately, this weren't with the conditions. They were not playing for me. It was glass calm, and it was hard to get a pre-spawn bite going. Being it was so glass calm, basically you were just stuck fishing spawners. So we went up to awards. We had a decent day. We just didn't have any giants. We had all 19 inchers, all decent smallmouth, and ended with 95 inches. And I realized, if you look at these two pictures right here, I submitted that one when I should have submitted that one. And it would have put me in third place because it was a three-way tie between myself, Josh Brewer, and my buddy Brandon Lewis. And basically when it came down to a tiebreaker, it goes from your biggest fish, we all had the same big fish, was your second biggest fish, and I was the third on that one. So I lost that one and got stuck in fifth place. But it's lessons learned to slow down. And when you're catching so many bass, you need to be able to go through and make sure you're submitting the right stuff, because that can make or break your kayak tournament. But either way, all good. We have a first and fifth place in this trail for NYKBF, which is great AOI points, leading that so far. Going into the rest of the season, it's out of your top 5 tournaments, and it's on a point system. So I'll take it, top 5. I mean, that's what we're keep shooting for in these tournaments. Just keep getting top 5s, because if we can do that, we'll put ourselves in a really good place to win Angler of the Year at the end of the year. Now, really quick, talking about baits, we started out with a little swim bait, a drop shot, and a Ned rig, and of course those played in the first scenes that you saw with those starting fish in the morning. What I quickly realized as they were getting hit was drop shots, Ned rigs all over the place, because these fish were pretty easy to pick out. That I needed a bait that was a little bit more efficient to get these fish to fire a little bit quicker, because a lot of them were seeing a lot of baits in their bed. And for me, it was a simple Texas rig. It was a queen tackle tungsten, a 1/4 ounce tungsten flipping weight, and a Berkeley power bait crash crawl. And I'll show you guys this up close. It's just a simple little craw / creature bait that I was put in their bed, hit them on the head with it, and they went nuts right away. It would make my bed fishing like from 10 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes. If you can get this in front of their face, chances are they were going to eat it. Not saying that any other craw bait wouldn't have done the same thing, but this is what worked for me. I stuck them just with a simple owner EWG hook. Thing is sharp as heck. Stuck them right through the forehead and got them in the boat. We lost one, we ended up catching it again. All of that gear that is listed will be down below in the description to Omnia Fishing, as well as my fishing report for this tournament. It'll take you right to the baits that I used. You can buy them yourself, see how I won, read through the pattern on my Omnia Fishing report, and then you guys can save yourself money on that order using code SERIOUS10 to save yourself 10% off. So I hope you guys are digging these tournament videos. I am loving filming and editing them for you guys. We have a lot more coming up, so I hope you're enjoying them. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you and your friends like to fish, kayak fish, recommend my channel. Let's grow, be the fish, and we will see you guys next time.